I can't. That was an interesting way to do it. Okay, we're going to be focused on movement today. So I'm going to give you 3 rules, things we're going to try to apply. You're going to be, dry fire on the stage a bunch. You'll be able to shoot as much live ammo as you want. We'll be doing a bunch of drills, and you're going to be moving your feet a lot today. So, be prepared. All right, first habit. Like, again, 3 habits I want. Feet spread apart, knees bent when you stop. Okay, this should be what you're predisposed to do. Meaning, you're shooting into position like this, and if you watch carefully, or maybe even not that carefully, most dudes, like when they stop, they're going to be like this, or like this. But yeah, I mean, it's constant. I mean, it takes conscious effort to get yourself, this is why we have to train on it, to stop. Like, this feels like my home stance. This is cool, keeping my weight down low, because when I decide, like, oh, I want to go over there now, like, I can push out of position with nothing happening. Like, no extra movement. If my stance is narrow like this, and I decide, like, oh, I'm going to move now, what you're naturally going to do, you'll see somebody, like, bend their knees, they kind of coil up like a spring, and kick their foot out, and then take off moving, yeah? Now, when you're doing that, psychologically, that will feel very fast, because you'll be exerting a lot of effort. You'll be exerting a ton of effort, and you'll feel fast. You will not be fast because it's inefficient. If you're reviewing yourself on video, you can always look at your shoulders, and you want to look for the moment that your shoulders start moving in the direction you want to go, as opposed to moving up and down. Yeah? Like, again, like this, like that moment where your shoulders are dropping down, you see, that's just stacking on time. And it's making it harder. And if you're older, you have bad knees, something like that, it's actually harder on your knees. You're going to have an easier time. Like, I'm going to set up like this. Like, when I want to go this way, I'm just going to look over there, let my back foot twist, and I push it inside of one step. I'm moving in the direction I want to go. Okay? So, what I find, like, the training perspective, if you get into this stance, like if you set up like this, you will quite naturally, without effort, be pushing out of position properly. But you want to cut down on, even like kicking your weight to the left before you move to the right, like, you don't want to see that stuff. Like, no extra. You finish a stance like in the starter's blocks. Now, there's other advantages to position yourself like this as well. Let's say you've got a stage where the positioning is very sensitive, and I kind of miss my spot a little bit. Instead of picking up my feet and you see the gun destabilize, I can just lean over a little bit and grab that target without destabilizing myself. Because every time you pick up your feet, you're going to see a reaction in the sights. So this is no bueno, right? Again, so you can help clean up little fuck-ups, which there's not many stages you're going to shoot that are perfect. So you want to plan to be a little bit imperfect. That's going to happen. Okay? Another thing, for a scenario like this, where you have targets that appear and disappear, you notice as you were shooting this the stage, like, you were like sitting there on the sights, you're on the sights, like, oh, I want to move. And then again, like, you're always sitting there on the sights and then wanting to go to the next spot, right? And while you're doing that, you don't want to be fighting for stability. You want to just stay down low and be very calm and patient. And then when you decide to grab the next target, you can move over there with a little bit of power. Okay, so there's a lot of advantages to keeping your weight down low and your feet spread apart. That's what I want to see. It's very good. Okay, now when you move, especially in training, full power, full speed movement. That's what I want. Like, if you go through this stage twice, dry fire, you should be sucking gas at the end of it. So in training, this is good, because if you're going full power, full speed, you'll start overrunning positions. You'll have to learn to use your brakes and slow yourself down efficiently and all that stuff. You'll actually train yourself properly. And in a match, obviously, you'll be faster if you're going full speed. But what most guys do is they kind of saunter through their practice. And then when you go to a match, they get adrenaline up and they start overrunning positions and stuff like that. Very common. So you want your training really to be aggressive. So for us today, like, every repetition you do on these movement drills, full power, full speed. And then, again, you'll overrun stuff initially. That's fine. Just like you'll learn to control yourself. And it'd be way faster that way, than trying to go slow and slowly ramp it up. Okay, the third thing, you want the gun up and ready to go as you're coming into position. A good example here is finishing the stage here, coming into position, run. I want the gun up nice and you're going around a wall, again, gun up nice and early. A good self-check for this, you come around a wall and there's a target you want to shoot there, your gun should already be up in the picture. You know, it should be not necessarily lined up on the target, but it's up here in your vision. This is going to improve accuracy quite a lot. Think about it, you'll spend more time with the gun up, stabilizing it, trying to aim. You see a lot of people come into position, they get to where their target's at, and they throw the gun up and start shooting because they're in a hurry. Whereas if you're a little more efficient, you're mounting the gun early, you're going to have more time on the sight, so be more time aiming, and your accuracy is going to go up. In addition to just being more efficient, having the gun ready to go early. Okay, so 3 things, pretty simple, right? Okay, so I would go through the stage dry, try to apply these things. I want all of you to do this. You'll be doing this today. And I should say, if all the shit we do today, your dry runs on the stage, that's going to be what you get the most value out of. Okay? So pay attention to my head's relationship with the gun, all of that stuff. Okay, so watching that, what could I do faster or better from a third-person perspective? What do you think? Look okay to everyone?
Getting the gun
Gun up a little earlier there, good.
Yeah, I thought on your braking, your feet did come in just a little bit, and then you.
Oh yeah, there
was slid out.
No, exactly. Okay, we'll try it again. No, I want to point out one thing. This is the start position, right? And at the start, you'll notice I'm widening out into my stance, getting ready for that movement. Okay. Okay. 2 runs, right? You can see I'm pulling air. This is good. This is when I know, like, yeah, I'm going aggressively. Now, as I move around, I'm assessing how much of my sight's moving when I come into position. All right, if I see something I don't like, I'll fix that with my lower body. Bend my knees more, set my feet down gently, all of that stuff. Okay, watching my head on the gun, did those look like they were good sight pictures to you? Yeah, I mean, I was spending a lot of time, a lot. Okay, so this is what I want you to do for training. Go through here just like this and be watching how your sights behave. You can have somebody observing you, making sure your feet are doing the right thing, you know, getting spread out, your gun's up nice and early. You will get a lot out of this going through it, but you want to, you know, push it hard a couple times, rest, you know, do it again. It'll be very valuable. Okay, I'll shoot it for you, then we'll head over to the drills. Okay, guys, that was this part fast.
Not overly.
No. I had to reload in an inconvenient spot too. Total time 13 seconds. Where'd the time come from?
Up, ready, shoot.
Yes.
More
And
monkey.
yes. And I was maintaining motion where other people were not comfortable. Now, if you watch carefully, I'm going to define movement as your shoulders moving. Not your feet kind of wide. If you watch it through your feet, it doesn't always tell you the whole story. Okay, so what I mean is, here I shoot this target, and I was kind of stepping into this target. My feet were on pause, but my shoulders kept rolling. Right, so I got to move through this target. Now this is difficult, and probably most of you I wouldn't recommend it. Not today. But that's where the time came from. Roll through here, and then you can see when I'm shooting, I feel like I'm done with the target. My weight's down low, and I can put power into movement right away. Do the same thing here. Up, shooting nice and early. Roll through here. Roll here. As soon as I got going, I didn't stop moving through this section where most of you are sitting here hunting and pecking for targets. I mean, this is a difficult scenario, but this is super common in USPSA, right? Where you kind of move it a little bit, targets appearing and disappearing and that kind of thing. So you want to get used to this and get comfortable at kind of rolling your shoulders through stuff as and when you're able. Okay, this makes sense, everybody? So this, again, just like yesterday, the stage will be open for you. I want you to do a shitload of dry fire on it as we're working through drills. Watch each other. It will be very, very valuable, okay? And then we can do some live fire on it too. All right, let's go do some drills. All right, we'll refill mags, then we'll do some